So, good morning. This is lecture number 2 on network theorems, and we are going to see some multiple choice questions on network theorems like here. We are going to study Thevenin theorem, Norton's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, and superposition. These are some important theorems in electrical circuits that we are going to see. Now, first multiple choice question, that is Thevenin's theorem. Thevenin's theorem converts a network circuit to an equivalent form consisting of first one, a current source and a series resistance, a voltage source and shunt resistance. Shunt means in parallel. A voltage source and series resistance, a current source and a shunt resistance. Means here we will have some network like this. So this is network, and we take two terminals out here. Suppose A, B. So this is network. Now network has source of EMF, E, maybe more than one source of EMF, and resistances. And we have equivalent circuit according to Thevenin's theorem. For this network, we have equivalent circuit across terminals AB like this. So these are terminals A and B. So here this is VTH, this is called Thevenin voltage, and RTH. So this is equivalent circuit for network, and this is using Thevenin's theorem. So here VTH, that is source of EMF, and RTH, they are in series. So here Thevenin's theorem converts a network circuit to an equivalent form consisting of a voltage source and a series resistance. So this one is correct. This one is correct. While next one, while Thevenizing a circuit between two terminals, VTH across these terminals is equal to a short circuit terminal voltage, a open circuit terminal voltage, total voltage of all sources in the circuit, EMF of the battery nearest to the terminals. Means here just we have seen. So here we have network. You can have more sources in this also. So I can take this as E1, this as E2 plus minus, and across these two terminals, suppose we apply some load resistance. When we want to Thevenize this circuit, we remove this load resistance, we remove this, and we make terminals open. And then we find open circuit voltage across the terminals A and B. So while Thevenizing a circuit between two terminals, VTH across these terminals is equal to a open circuit terminal voltage. Open circuit terminal voltage. Next one, in Thevenizing equivalent circuit, the resistance RTH is defined as, that is Thevenin's resistance. a open circuit resistance between two terminals, a closed circuit resistance between two terminals, a resistance calculated across two terminals with source of EMF is active, and resistance calculated by replacing voltage source with their internal resistance. Means here, suppose we have some network like this, any network, and suppose we take two terminals out, A and B. We have to, so this is network. Here battery R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and so on. When we want to find resistance across these terminals, that is RTH, we have to replace this battery. Suppose this battery has internal resistance R. Then we replace battery by resistance R. Means here we replace here battery by its resistance R like this. And then we find resistance of the network, that is RTH. Now if internal resistance is 0, we use here short. If internal resistance is 0, short is used. But if there is some internal resistance, we replace that battery by its internal resistance to find RTH. So here last one is correct. The resistance calculated by replacing voltage source with their internal resistances. So this last one is correct. Now Thevenin's theorem cannot be applied for. Now Thevenin's theorem is applied for linear circuits. It is not applied for non-linear circuits. So it is applied for linear circuit, active network, passive network, but it is not applied for non-linear circuits. Now next one, a simple network is given in figure. What is equivalent voltage across AB? Now see here, suppose this is battery of EMF E, and we have to find VTH. VTH, that is voltage across the open circuit voltage across terminals A and B. Now see here, terminals A and B, they are across resistance R2. So whatever voltage across R2, that is across terminals A and B. So we have to find voltage across R2. For that purpose, we have to find first current. Now see here, current, it goes like this. So in the path of current, R1 and R2, they are in series. So total resistance is R1 plus R2, that is RS. So what is current? Current is E upon RS, that is E upon R1 plus R2. Now we know I is equal to E is 6 volt divided by R1 is 1 kilo ohm and R2 is 2 kilo ohm. So 1 kilo ohm, that is 1000 plus 2000. So 6 upon 3000. So we have here, we can write 6 upon 3 into 10 raised to 3. So we will get 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. That is current flowing through the circuit. That is flowing through R1 as well as R2. So what is potential difference across R2? So V2. So potential difference across R2 is, V2 is I into R2. So I means 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 into R is 2 into 10 raised to 3. So it is 4 volt. So this is V2. This V2 it is across terminals A and B. So this is equal to VAB. So this is also Thevenin's equivalent voltage VTH. So it is 4 volt. So here last one is correct. Now next one. Simple network is given in figure. What is equivalent Thevenin resistance across terminals AB? So same network is given here. Now when we want to find Thevenin resistance, we replace battery by its internal resistance. Internal resistance is not given here. So we have to take R is equal to 0, means we have to short the battery. So what happens here? For resistance, circuit becomes like this. So we have shorted battery and these are two terminals AB. Here R2. Now here start from terminal A. We are here now. Now it is divided into two parts. In first part here we have resistance R1 and in second part we have resistance R2. And now see here, they again here come together and they go to B. So see here, between A and B, R1 and R2 are in parallel. So what is RAB? Two resistances are in parallel. So R1 into R2 upon R1 plus R2. Now R1 is 1 kilo ohm, that is 1000 into 2000 divided by now here 1000 plus 2000. So we get here 2000 by 3. 2000 by 3 if we calculate this. So if we take here, it will be 666.666 ohm. So this is resistance across terminals A and B, and this is also called Thevenin's equivalent resistance RTH. So here this first one is correct. This first one is correct. Now a simple network is given in figure. What is equivalent Thevenin resistance across AB? So we have to find Thevenin resistance across AB. So what is equivalent circuit here? We replace this battery by its internal resistance. Now see here, internal resistance is not given, means its internal resistance is simply 0. We take 0 internal resistance. So here battery is replaced by short, and now circuit is like this. Here 6 ohm, 2 ohm and 4 ohm. So let us call this as R1, R2, R3. Now let us take terminal A here. Now from terminal A we have first resistance R1. Now it comes here. So it is divided into two branches. Now in first branch we have R3 and in second branch we have R2, and now these two branches come together here and then they go to B. So now see here, RAB, resistance between A and B, that is equal to what? R1 plus RP. RP is what? Parallel combination of this. Means here equivalent of this is A R1 RP and here B. Now what is RP? We have two resistances in parallel. So we have here R3 into R2 upon R3 plus R2. Here this RP is nothing but R3 parallel R2. So here we get, now what is R1? R1 is 6 ohm plus R3. R3 it is 2 into R2 is 4 upon 2 plus 4. So here 6 plus 8 by 6. 6 plus 8 by 6 means you can write here 6 plus 4 by 3. So it is 18 plus 4 by 3. So it is 22 by 3. It is 22 by 3 ohm. So it is a 7 point 7.7 into 3 is 21. So you will get 3333 ohm. So here this last one is correct. This last one is correct. Now simple network is given in figure. What is the equivalent Thevenin's voltage across terminals A and B? So circuit is given. So I can call this as E R1, R2, R3 and RL, that is load resistance across terminals A and B. A 24 volt, B 18 volt, C 16 volt, D 20 volt. So when we want to find Thevenin's voltage, first we make terminals A and B open. So we have to remove this. So remove this. So when we remove this, we get circuit like this. So it is R1, R2, R3, AB plus minus E. Now if we see here, terminals A and B are open, so no current will flow through R2. So current will flow like this. Like this. So what happens here? Since no current flows through R2, so potential at point A and potential at this point, let us call C, will be the same. Will be the same. That is, A and C are at the same potential. So whatever potential between C and D will be equal to potential between A and B. So first we will find current. So what is current? I is equal to E upon resistance. What is resistance? In the path of current, resistance, that is R1 and R3, they are in series. So we have here R1 plus R3. Now E is 36 volt divided by R1 is 3 plus 6. So 36 by 9. So it is 4 ampere. That is current through R1 as well as R3. So what is V3? Potential difference across R3. That is I into R3. I is 4, R3 is 6 ohm, that is 24 volt. Now this 24 volt, that is across CD, that is also across AB, across terminals AB, and this voltage it is called VTH. So VTH is equal to 24 volt. So when we approximate this circuit, you will get VTH is equal to 24 volt and RTH. When we want to find RTH, simply we replace this battery by its internal resistance, and then we can find. We have already seen in earlier one, like this, like this. So you can find RTH also. Now next one, Norton's theorem is dot 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 form of an equivalent circuit. So in Norton theorem means we take network. So suppose this is some network. And these two terminals are taken out. Now what is its equivalent circuit? It is current source giving Norton current IN and resistance of the network Rn. They are in parallel. They are in parallel. So here it is current form of an equivalent circuit. So Norton theorem it is used for equivalent current. Now Norton's theorem converts a network circuit to an equivalent form consisting of. So if we see here, this is Norton's equivalent circuit. Here current source and resistance, they are in parallel. So here we can say Norton's theorem converts a network circuit to an equivalent form consisting of a current source and a series resistance, a voltage source and shunt resistance, a voltage source and a series resistance, a current source and a shunt resistance. Shunt means parallel. So here this last one is correct. This last one is correct. We have seen this equivalent circuit here. While Nortonizing a circuit between two terminals, IN through these terminals is equal to a short circuit terminal current, a open circuit terminal current, total current of all sources through the circuit, EMF of the battery nearest to the terminals. So here, suppose we have network like this. And I have taken single source. Network can have number of sources. So for simplicity, I have taken so these are two terminals. Now this is network and two terminals are taken from that network. When we want to find Norton's current, means equivalent to Norton's current source, we have to short these two terminals. We have to short these two terminals, and whatever current flows through this short, That is the maximum current given by the network across terminals AB when they are shorted, and that is called Norton current. So what happens when we short these terminals? Current will flow through this like this, and whatever current goes through AB, that is Norton current. So here a short circuit terminal current, it is nothing but Norton current. So this is about Norton current. In Norton's equivalent circuit, the resistance RN is defined as a open circuit resistance between two terminals, a closed circuit resistance between two terminals, resistance calculated across two terminals with source of EMF is active, means source of EMF is there, and resistance calculated by replacing voltage source with their internal resistance. So when we want to find RN, it is same like Thevenin theorem to find RTH. So we first make this open, terminals AB open. We replace battery by its internal resistance, whatever, and then we approximate circuit and we find resistance across terminals A and B. Same like Thevenin's theorem. So resistance calculated by replacing voltage source with its internal resistance. So this is last one is correct. Now next one, a simple network is given in figure. What is equivalent Norton's current through AB? So simple circuit is given, 6-volt battery, R1, R2, these are two resistances. A and B terminals are taken across R2. So A is 2 milliampere, B is 6 milliampere, C is 5 milliampere, D is 4 milliampere. So what happens here? When we want to find Norton's current, first we have to short the terminals. So when we short the terminals here, A and B, current will flow through this. Now what happens in this case? If we take this current, when it comes here at this point, it has two paths to go. This path as well as through R2. Through R2 means through this also. But since this is short and short is parallel to R2, what will happen? Here no current will flow through this R2. No current flows. So whatever current, it goes through short. So in the path of current, there is only one resistance, that is R1. So what is current? Current is EMF of source divided by resistance in the path of current, that is equal to R1. And that current will go through this short. And that current is IN. So here 6 volt divided by R1 is 1 kilo ohm, that is 1000 ohm. So it is 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. So it is 6 milliampere. So I is equal to 6 milliampere, and that is IN because that is flowing through the short. So here this second one is correct. Second one is correct. Now next one. What will be the Norton's current for following network? Following network. Now when we want to find Norton's current, first we short the terminals. Now here A and B are terminals. If some load resistance is given across terminals AB, remove load resistance and short the terminals. So here we will short these terminals. Short it, and whatever current flows through this short, that is IN. Now if we see this from battery of EMF 10 volt, current will flow. Let us take that current is I. That current comes at this point. Let us call this point as C. And now it is divided into two parts because there are two branches to go. And now they combine here at point D. So in the path of current, let us call this as R1, this as R2, this as R3. So what is resistance in the path of current? That is R1 plus R2 parallel R3. See here, uh, this 6 ohm resistance and 4 ohm resistance, they are parallel with each other. So they are parallel. So R is equal to, that is total current, E upon R is equal to 2 ohm plus R2 parallel R3 means 6 into 4 upon 6 plus 4. So you will get here 2 plus 24 upon 10. So we will get here 2 plus 2.4, that is 4.4. 4.4, or it is 44 upon 10 ohm. This is resistance. And what is current I? That is E upon R. So that is 10 divided by 4.4 ampere. So this is total current. Suppose I2 it is flowing through 6 ohm and I3 it is flowing through 4 ohm. Now R2 and R3 are parallel. Now I2 that is also flowing through short. So I2 will be equal to IN. So what is I2? So it is parallel one at point C. Total current is this. This is at C. And I is equal to what? I2 plus I3. So when we want to find I2, use total resistance into now R3 upon R2 plus R3. When we want to find current through R2, use resistance R3 and then addition of these two. So here we have 10 upon 4.4, that is total current, into what? R3, that is 4 upon 4 plus 6. So we will get this as 10 upon 4.4 into 4 upon 10. So it is 4 upon 4.4. So I2 is equal to, now 4 upon 4.4, it is 0.909 something ampere. So I can take 0.91 ampere. And this is also equal to IN because that is flowing through the short. So this one is correct. Now next one. What will be the Norton's current for following network? Norton's current for following network. Now see here, first we have to replace this resistance, load resistance across terminals AB, and we have to connect short. So what happens? Circuit becomes like this. Circuit becomes like 4 ohm, 6 ohm, 12 ohm, and now these are terminals AB. And here we have to short these two terminals. And then whatever current flows through this, that is IN. Now what happens? If we see carefully, suppose we take this point as P, this point as Q, and this point as N, and this point as N. Now if we see PQ, NM and AB, they are parallel. So this short is parallel. So short is parallel to 6 ohm and 12 ohm. So what happens here? No current will flow through 6 ohm resistance or 12 ohm resistance. Whatever total current, that one will go through short. So what happens? Current will flow like this. And no current flows through short. So what happens in the path of current? Only we have only one resistance, that is 4 ohm. So what is current? Current will be equal to E upon this first resistance. Let us call that as R1. R1 E is what? 12 volt. R1 is 4 ohm. So it is 3 ampere. So we get 3 ampere current. Since no current flows through 6 ohm and 12 ohm, whole current will go through short. So it is 3 ampere current and IN is equal to 3. So IN is equal to 3 milliampere. Now what will be the Norton's current for following network? Now see carefully network. We have 20 volt battery of EMF E. I will give notations here. Let us call this as R1 resistance, R2 resistance, R3 resistance, R4 resistance, and battery of EMF E. And we have to find Norton current. So we short terminals AB, and whatever current flows through short, that is IM. Now what happens here? These two, short and this, they are parallel. So no current will flow through 20 ohm resistance, that is 4 ohm. So what happens? This circuit simply becomes like this. 5 ohm, 10 ohm, like this. AB come here. So here R1, R3, R2. So current will flow like this. Then it is divided into two branches. Whatever current goes through R3, that will go through the short. Now what is total resistance in the path of current? R1 plus R3 parallel to R2. R3 parallel to R2. So it is R1 plus R3 into R2 upon R3 plus R2. So if we see here R1, that is 5 ohm plus 10 into 10 divided by 10 plus 10. So it is 5 plus 100 divided by 20, that is 5 plus 5, that is 10 ohm. So that is total resistance of the circuit. So what is total current? E upon 20. So E means 20 volt divided by 20, that is sorry 10, not 20, 10. So that is 2 ampere. That is total current here, 2 ampere. Now total current, it is divided into two parts, that is I3 plus I2. But since R2 and R3 are same, so what happens here? You can take I3 is equal to total current I into R2 upon R2 plus R3. So here 2 into 10 divided by 10 plus 10. So we'll get what? 1. So 1 ampere. So 1 ampere will flow through R3 and that one will flow through short because no current flows through R4. So you will get 1 ampere, that is IN. That is IN. Now we'll go to next one. The Norton equivalent circuit has IN, means Norton current, and Norton resistance RN. A load resistance equal in value to its Norton resistance, then the current through the load resistance will be. Now here, if we take, this is current source IN and resistance RN. They are in parallel. And then we have two terminals AB. So what happens here? IN current flows through this. And now we connect here load resistance. RL. And suppose this is variable. So what happens? Total current here, that is IN. Now it is divided into two parts. Let us call this as IL plus whatever current through this. So what is IL? IL, that is current through load resistance, means one branch of that circuit. It is equal to total current multiplied by Rn upon Rn plus RL. We have to find current through RL. So we have to use this resistance, parallel resistance here. And then upon Rn plus RL. Now here we have In into Rn upon. Now Rn plus RL. Now load resistance is equal to Norton's resistance. So it is Rn plus Rn. So we get here In and here Rn upon 2Rn. So we will get 1 now. So it is In by 2. So when load resistance is equal to Norton's resistance, half current will go through load resistance. For transfer of maximum power, the relation between load resistance R and internal resistance small r of the voltage source is, means here this is source with internal resistance R, suppose, and here we apply load resistance R, variable resistance. So what happens? Current will flow through this circuit and power will be delivered to this one. And what is that power? It is I square R. Now this PL will be maximum when load resistance is equal to internal resistance of the source, and that is called maximum power transfer theorem. So when load resistance is equal to internal resistance of the source, maximum power is transferred from load resistance to source to load resistance. We know this. So here this third one is correct. Under the condition of maximum power transfer, the efficiency means what? N, power dissipated across load resistance and power developed by source. So here power by source, developed by source, and power dissipated across load. So here, suppose we take this circuit. So this is source. You can take equivalent Thevenin. So RTH, it is internal resistance of that Thevenin source. And we have here load resistance RL. So what happens here? So RTS, this is internal resistance. We can take R in also. So what happens when we connect load resistance? Current flows through this. And what is current? I is equal to VTH upon total voltage upon what? Total resistance in the path, that is R in plus RTH. So power dissipated across load resistance or power given to load resistance, PL is equal to I square RL. I square means what? VTH upon R in plus RTH square into RL. Now maximum power transfer theorem. So PL means maximum power is transferred. Maximum power is transferred when R in will be equal to RL. R in means that RTH will be equal to RL. So we'll get what here? Here it is RL, not RTH, RL. R in plus RL. Here it is R in plus RL. VTH upon R in plus RL. So here it is RL. So what happens here? R in means RL plus RL square of this current square into RL. So here VTH upon, you can take R in also. So 2R in square into RN. So we get here VTH square upon 4R in. 4R in, because 4R in square into here R in. One will cancel. So this is maximum power delivered to the load. Power developed. Power developed in the source. So here power developed or power in is equal to I square, means here I square I into what? VTH. I into VTH. Voltage into current. Now this current flows through source also. So I is what? VTH upon R in plus RL into VTH. So here VTH square upon 2 times RN. This is input power. Input power. Current into voltage. So use here. So eta is equal to output power, that is VTH square divided by 4 RN upon VTH square divided by 2 RN. So eta is equal to, you will get 1/2. 1/2 means 0.5. 0.5 means 50%. So this is 50%. Now next one, the open circuit voltage at the transfer of load R is 20 volt. Under the condition of maximum load power transfer, the load voltage will be. So what happens here? This is source. It is 20 volt. Its internal resistance will be something RTH or RN. So when terminals are open, you will get 20 volt here. But now we will connect load resistance here. And maximum power means RL will be equal to RTH. So what happens here? This 20 volt, it is V1 here V2 here. So we have circuit like this. V1, V2, this is RTH, this is also RTH, this one. So two resistances are in series and they have equal values, so voltage is divided equally. So here you will get 10 volt, here you will get 10 volt. So here this one is correct. Now next one, a voltage source has terminal voltage of 20 volt when its terminals are open circuited. Means here we have voltage source, its internal resistance is R and it is 20 volt. Let us call this as E. So when terminals are open, we will get 20 volt. Now when R, that is 8 ohm, it is applied here, you will get voltage across this. Means when a load of 8 ohm is applied across its terminals, the voltage drops to 16 volt. Means here, means between A and B, you will have how much? 16 volt. When we connect load resistance, when there is no load resistance, it is 20 volt. So we have to find internal resistance. Now what happens here? Current through circuit is I is equal to E upon R plus R current. So what is potential difference across R? VR is equal to I into R. So it is E upon R plus R. This is current into resistance. That is equal to VR. Now VR is 16 volt. E is 20 volt upon R plus capital R is 8 ohm into 8. So we'll get this, we'll get 2. So 2 is equal to 20 upon R plus 8. So 2 into R plus 8 will be 20. So 2R plus 16 will be 20. So 2R will be 20 minus 16, that is 4. So R will be equal to 2 ohm. So internal resistance will be 2 ohm. Now see the graph between power delivered to load resistance and load resistance for the following circuit will be. So what happens here? What is current? Here in the path of this VTH upon R in plus RL. What is power delivered to this load? That is I square RL. So here VTH upon R in plus RL square into RL. Now suppose we take load resistance, we start from 0 and we go on increasing. So what happens? When we go on increasing load resistance, this current will go on decreasing, load resistance will go on increasing. So we have product of decreasing term and increasing term. And if we find this mathematically, you will observe that power goes on increasing, reaches a maximum value when RL is equal to Rin and then it decreases. So we will get this last graph. This one. Power goes on increasing, it one will be maximum here when Rin will be equal to RL and then it decreases. Now Thevenin source has RTH is equal to 10 ohm and VTH is equal to 40 volt. A load is connected to a circuit, the maximum power supplied to the load is. So here this is VTH RTH. VTH is 40 volt, RTH is 10 ohm, and we connect here load resistance RL. And when so what is current? Current is VTH upon R in plus RL, and power delivered is I square RL. So it is what? VTH square upon R in plus RL square multiplied by RL. Maximum power R in will be equal to RL. So this is power. So PL max will be equal to VTH square upon 2 R in square into R in. So what happens here? You will get VTH square upon 4 times Rin. 4 times Rin. So now VTH it is 40 volt. So we will get 40 square upon 4 into Rin. Rin is 10. So 40. So we will get 40 only. 40 watt. So here this one is correct. Now next one. The superposition theorem applies to current and voltage calculations. Means in superposition theorem it is actually bilateral network. Means here we have number of suppose this is some network. So if we take any resistance here, you can take any resistance here, suppose R2. So through R2 current will flow using due to E1 as well as due to E2. So we find current due to E1. At that time we replace E2 by its internal resistance. Then we find current through R2 due to E2. At that time we replace E1 by its internal resistance. And then we take account directions of current due to E1 and E2, and then we find total current or total voltage across R2. So this is superposition. Now superposition theorem can be applied only to circuits having linear bilateral networks. Linear bilateral networks. Now next one, it is simple one. What will be the current through resistance R2? So here bilateral network is given. We can take this source as E1, this source as E2. And we have three resistances R1, R3 and R2. And we have to find resistance current through resistance R2. Now current through resistance R2, it is combination of current due to E1 as well as due to E2. So first find current due to E1. So when we want to find current due to E1, then we have to short E2. Means replace E2 by its internal resistance. Now here internal resistance is not given. So take that internal resistance as 0. So what happens? To find current due to E1, we have to short E2. So what happens? Here circuit becomes like this. Now E2 is shorted. So let us call this as, this resistance is R1, this resistance is R2, this is R3 and this is E1. So if we go here, current will flow like this. So what is total current? So total resistance in the path, that is R1 plus R2 parallel R3. So that is R1 plus R2 into R3 upon R2 plus R3. So R1 is what? R1 is 4 ohm plus R2 is 2 ohm. R1 is 1 ohm upon 2 plus 1. So you will get 4 plus 2 by 3. So you will get 4 into 3, that is 12 plus 2. So it is 14 by 3 ohm. This is R. So what is current? Total current due to E1. We will call that as I1. So E1 upon to whatever total resistance. E1 is 28 divided by 14 by 3. So if we calculate this, 3 will go up. 28 by 14, that is 2 into 3, that is 6 ampere. That is 6 ampere. Now 6 ampere, it is total current here. 6 ampere. That is divided into two parts. Through R3 and through R2. So total current I1. So I can take I3. That is I1, that is total current into. Now we will use resistance R2 upon R2 plus R3. So 6 into R2 is 1 ohm. 1 ohm. Here R2 is 1 ohm upon 2 plus 1. So we will get I3 is equal to 2 ampere. 2 ampere. So what happens here? 2 ampere current, it is due to E1. It is due to E1. Now we have to find current due to E2. So we will means here we have to find current due to E2. So find current due to E2. So replace E1 by its internal resistance. So circuit becomes like this. Here short, we have here R1, R3, and here E2. Here we have R. So current will flow like this. So what is resistance in the path? Resistance in the path is R3 plus R1 parallel R2. So it is R3 plus R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. So R3 it is how much? 1 ohm plus R1 it is 4 into 2 upon 4 plus 2. So we'll get 1 plus 8 by 6. So it is 1 plus 4 by 3. So it is 7 by 3 ohm. 7 by 3 ohm. So here resistance is 7 by 3 ohm. So what is current? So we can take current, total current. So that is flowing through R3. So I can call that as I3. That is total current. I3 is equal to E2 upon total resistance. So it is 7 upon, now it is 7 by 3. So it is 3 ampere. So here we will get 3 ampere current. Now that current is divided into two parts. So when we want to find I2, total current due to E2 is I3 multiplied by, now R1 is resistance upon R1 plus R2. So I3 is 3 ampere, R1 is 4 ohm divided by 4 plus 2, that is 6. So 3 into 4 by 6. So you will get 2 ampere here. 2 ampere here. So see here, 2 ampere it is due to E2, 2 ampere it is due to E1. Now in both the cases current flows from A to B. So what happens here? 2 ampere plus 2 ampere because direction is same. So total is 4 milliampere. Sorry, 4, actually it is ampere, not milliampere. 4 ampere. Current is 4 ampere. So this is about network theorems. So thanks very much. If you have any problem, you can ask. Do you have any problem? Okay. In next lecture, we will see operational amplifiers. Okay. So we will stop here now.